Cars under 5 grand in this economy? You betcha. And I brought the receipts. Today on Idealist, 7 good cars that you can have for under 5 stacks. And stick till the end because we'll share with you which one, well, I'd buy because it's the Idealist. So, I'll be real, these aren't the fastest or newest rides, but I would recommend any one of them because, well, none of them suck. And we're talking reliable, even if they're higher mileage and at least a little engaging to drive, like the Toyota Celica. And now, I don't like admitting it, but Scotty Kilmer is right about one thing. And if you want a fun old car that will run forever and it's super easy to maintain and love, well, you buy a Celica. For under 5 grand, you get one of the last gens. An angry Celica, but it probably won't be a manual in good condition. The good news is that older Celicas, since they last for freaking ever, can be had as a save the manuals manual all day, air day. And between you and me, I think the older ones look better. Do you agree? Well, either way, you'd be getting a car that no one can hate. And, well, they're kind of fun to drive, so it will absolutely give you hundreds of smiles per miles. Oh, just so you know, I've linked to all the ideal deals on Auto Tempest in the description, so go give them a look-see. Like this 01 GT for 4K. Yeah, it needs a little elbow grease, but who doesn't? Well, how about a Hero?
All right, big fella, let's crash this party.
If an old JDM Hero doesn't float your boat, you just get a V6 Mustang. Wah, wah, wah. It's not real. So the hell what? Still a lot of fun to drive. And with the manual transmission, they're actually pretty solid, or at least super cheap to fix. The bottom line though, is that there are not many rear-wheel drive cars that come with 3 pedals in general, but especially under 10 grand. And we're talking about keeping it under 5. So, all things considered, a V6 Mustang with a 5-speed manual is one of the best entry-level cars that you can buy. Plus, you can kick the rear out in the rain, which who doesn't want to do that? Just stay away from the auto tragics. Yeah, and here we have it. What more could you want than a manual pony car with some torque thrusters? That thing looks pretty good. And when we're speaking about staying away from the auto tragics, and guys, do I really even have to tell you about that? Stay away from the automatics. But especially if it's from one of our friends at Nissan. Let me tell you, a Sentra is actually a lot of fun to drive. The Sentra is kind of the Adidas to the Nike that is Honda. And they definitely have their fans who tune these things up to the moon and beyond. So, don't think it's inferior or anything. And while Nissan can't build an auto to save their lives, the engine they make is fantastic and it will run forever. Oh, and if you're searching for a Sentra, make sure that you keep an eye out on the somewhat rare V6 Ultima. That's the same exact V6 that you find in the 350Z. So, you know what's up. Otherwise, well, get a Sentra. Buy it, beat it, and sell it for a down payment on a 370Z. Here's essentially the 4-door 350Z, kinda, sorta. Okay, I think you're ready for a weird one.
There's something real creepy about you, pal. You wanna get weird? Let's get weird.
For all you quirky people out there that I love, there is the Geo Tracker tracking you. Now, I wanna paint you a little Bob Ross picture with happy trees.
Let's paint several little happy trees.
You know, like you wanna go to the beach and drive up the shore to have a bonfire with the buds. But you also want a sensible vehicle that fits in parking spaces and attracts attention from potential dates. Here's the rub, you just can't afford a Jeep Wrangler. Sorry, but the Tracker is the perfect alternative. It's just a little bit smaller, and smaller is funner, right? I mean, that's what I tell myself.
Small PP.
Anyway, the best part about it is that they are capable fire road bombers or beach cruisers when you let their hair down. while getting way better gas mileage than any Wrangler could ever dream of. Now, you can get a very clean one for close to $5,000, or scoot over to a higher mileage one for even less. And if you want to just let your hair down and go crazy, a lot of people have turned these things into off-road toys, and you can pick those up for nothing. Now, this white one, I wouldn't kick out of my garage, and I dig the soft top on this 94 Tracker, but man, Gambler 500, here I come in this bad boy. Now, if that quirky, not a Jeep thing wasn't really your cup of tea, but you still love standing out, well, I can definitely relate. So you should probably subscribe and also hit that like button if you're enjoying this vid so far. Because right now we have a surprising suggestion for you. The SCION XB. Well, actually, it's really not all that surprising. I mean, first off, it's really just a Toyota. So even if you buy one with a ton of miles on it, probably still gonna be just fine. Plus, it's got a short wheelbase, comes with a manual transmission, a fairly low center of gravity. Seriously, you probably ignore these things like all the times because, well, they look like toaster ovens and are mostly driven by people with arthritis. But they are a fantastic little city car that you can get every day for under $5K. I'm the first one to admit it, that these aren't really my cup of tea. I like curvy lines, kind of like you and me. But remember, you don't drive a car from the outside, and you never can forget about the sheer amount of fun that you can have from the other side. Actually, let's start on this next one because, well, remember I mentioned the Wish.com Civic before, you know, the Sentra? You can't beat the original. And nothing really compares to a Honda. I have one word to sell it. VTEC, baby.
Hey! Hey! Lexi!
And you can watch Trav explain it up here, because we did a video on VTEC in our launch control series. It's pretty ideal. And if you can afford to just experience it, well, then you definitely should. Yes, you won't be able to get a newer Civic. If newer is better for you, go for the Nissan. You just won't be disappointed. But if you want what is possibly the best do-it-all car ever built, a mid-90s Civic with VTEC is always the answer. Oh, and not only do they have VTEC, but it's probably the best manual transmission to ever be in a front-wheel drive car. Combined, can you say aftermarket? Because, well, these have probably a bigger aftermarket and more support than probably literally anything ever covered on any IDEALIST. And you can get a great looking one for under $5,000. But there's really only one thing better, which is the Miata. Could there be any other IDEALIST ride? Miata, it is always the answer. And every YouTuber will recommend one, and you're probably tired of hearing about it. They're fun, they're reliable, they're cheap, and they'll teach you how to really drive. But here is the thing. If you're watching this, it means that you probably haven't bought one yet. So we're gonna keep recommending them to you. The NAs are now a little bit more desirable, so you probably aren't gonna get a great one for under $5K. But every so often, you see them on Auto Tempest. So definitely check it out. But that means that it is prime time for the younger brother, the NB. And while you might miss the pop-up headlights, you will forget about it once you start carving those canyons, baby. So boys and girls, that's our list for today. Which one surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments. And as far as the idealist car on this list, it's gotta be the NB Miata. That's the one that I would use the Ideal Car Strategies on to drive, enjoy, and then sell it for a premium and make a little dough doing it. Let me know your idealist car from this list in the comments as well. And I also wanna see what your guys' first car was, so let us know down below as well. And if you enjoyed this video, well, what do you gotta do? Click on another video. Click on this one about VTEC from Trav, because you didn't click before because you're still here, and it's incredible. And who doesn't love VTEC? I've been Brad, this has been Ideal, and promise me one thing, keep living the ideal lifestyle.